Hello and welcome back to Anastasia Speaks, where sacred spaces are created to heal the invisible scars and build communities of love, whilst illuminating your soul's essence through activation and soul integration. I am Anastasia, your host, and in today's episode, I want to reintroduce myself, share more of my story, purpose, and how this podcast can guide you through your own healing and spiritual journey. To those who are new to my podcast and don't know who I am or what I do, I am an intuitive, a licensed integrative specialist counsellor, holistic therapist, spiritual coach, twin flame guide, and author. A number of specialities, I know, and it didn't happen overnight either, but it's been my life's journey, a massive spiritual unfolding of unlearning and self-mastery. A path of deep discovery of self, remembering, reactivation, and reconnection, with an extraordinary number of synchronicities marking as signposts along my roadmap of purpose. I must be transparent and say, the constant learning and expansion on great levels has been far from easy and in fact incredibly challenging in parts. The constant shedding means there are a lot of things that change, and there are places, things, foods or people you just outgrow and can no longer keep, which takes some adjusting to. Most of all, there are certain belief systems you recognize exist and don't serve you any longer. If this sounds familiar or similar to the journey you've been on, then you're in the right place. The other part of this could also look like a lack of clarity regarding purpose or feeling lost and disconnected. My spiritual journey started with being able to hear my soul and God, the divine creator of all that is, other people's souls, hearts, and intentions. I could always tell when something was off. It was like I was always reaching or searching for something that was missing, be it the truth, authenticity, honesty, or true transparency. But when I say missing, what I really mean is the forgetting that happens when we incarnate in these human bodies and vessels. It's like I always knew what it was intuitively that was missing, and somehow it would come to light that I was right. What I came to realize in my adult years was I could very quickly and easily see where a person was out of soul alignment energetically and why. Also, usually how they got to this place and what emotions were causing it. Now, this has taken decades of helping people in various ways to pinpoint and find the exact terminology that so accurately identifies what I do so effortlessly. Once I really got down to what this was, there was like this aha moment, feeling like I finally know, and everything else just became clearer. I know it might not seem like a big deal, but let me tell you why it was. When we are not microscopically clear on what we have to offer and how, we undervalue ourselves. And guess what? So does everyone else. The spiritual journey requires us to get clear on who we are, and what we are not. I was undervaluing myself by trying to oversimplify and generalize what it was I did. When we do this, we aren't owning our gifts and value. We aren't fully stepping into our power and claiming what is our birthright. That is our purpose. That is our soul signature and our gifts to share with the world. And when we are doing this, we find ourselves feeling stuck, disconnected, or lost. So I know what it's like to feel like you're here for a bigger purpose than just to be working a 9-to-5 job for someone else, questioning how, when, and I'm just here to tell you, not only is what you feel a specific soul calling, guiding you towards your true purpose, but it's also a wake-up call. A wake-up call that you're out of alignment. It is my mission to get you into soul alignment with each episode, helping you uncover the emotional baggage weighing you down and giving you clarity on your roadblocks to love so you can become your most radiant self. I'm here to guide you in your spiritual evolution so you may fully step into who you came here to be. I'll share spiritual principles I've learned on my journey and tools that have helped so many of my clients in the last 10 years. I started my career as a qualified registered nurse, but after the birth of my beautiful daughter and the breakdown of my marriage, I realized I couldn't stay in the nursing role any longer. It no longer gave me the same joy. And more than that, I was overworked. I felt underpaid and was just hugely depressed. I didn't want to be away from raising my daughter. So I searched for a transitional role that I could do whilst I figured out my long-term plan and continued in my self-discovery and healing journey. I loved art. It was something I was deeply passionate about from childhood, and I did it for most of my life. Makeup was also easy for me, so I decided I would get certified in media makeup and special effects so I could use my artistic expression daily and potentially work in beauty, TV, or theatre. Long story short, it was a lot of work. Studying and working part-time was not ideal with a baby, and the bills just continued to stack up. I was burning out, but I realised during this time, counselling was something I always did. It was something I did even whilst with my clients for beauty, and it was a role I took on my whole life. Helping people more deeply in this way never felt like work and always lit me up. So I decided that was probably what my soul was calling me to do and has been my whole life. Doing this professionally, however, required more studying. So I enrolled. I also made the decision to work full-time after a year of doing agency work in the beauty consulting business. I was fortunate to land a role at one of the world's top luxury fashion brands, all while still continuing my self-development, offering my intuitive insights for free or donations on the side, whilst I figured out my long-term career plan and transition. But you can probably guess what happened next. Along the way, being totally buried in work, in studying, self-development, taking care of a baby, single-handedly, I burnt out. Total burnout. I worked my body and mind to its complete limits, consistently driving on empty. Eventually, this affected my health big time. This led to a life-changing health diagnosis, hospital admissions over a 3-year period. But guess what? I just powered through that and was doing everything I was doing before, managing even to work my way up to higher positions at work. But once COVID came, enough was enough. I said I could no longer live this way, and this wasn't a way to live. I had to find my way out. I wasn't making enough space or time for rest, restoration, or rejuvenation because I was so fixated on what should be done and what was expected of me by everyone. COVID for me was a huge blessing, and I knew it would be, honestly, before it really arrived and during it. I was finally able to give myself, my body and my mind the rest that it needed. For the first time in my life at 28 years old, I was truly focusing on me, healing more, relaxing, taking time out just to love on myself, be more present, tune in with my body more, and evolve in my spiritual practices, as well as officially start building my spiritual and counselling business. I was making choices from a place of calling and divine guidance rather than fear and necessity. This was food for my soul. After COVID's quarantine was over, I decided to finally leave the corporate world, stepping further into my power as a sovereign being, and I've been rewriting the trajectory of my story ever since. I now live and work from a place of what feels aligned with my soul. I move with more capacity to create what I love in search for more freedom, and it's been some of the most liberating years of my life. So I want to give you 3 tools to help you get back into soul alignment today, so you don't have to heal from big health scares or total burnout. Number 1, write down what the soul calling feels like. What is the message? What are the messages? Don't worry about getting it wrong or it being perfect. Just write the things that immediately come to you. Don't judge it. It does not matter how far-fetched it might sound to you right now. The purpose of this exercise is to listen to your inner voice, help you recognize it, and what direction you are being called for. This should be done in a quiet space. If you want to time yourself, you can, but just take at least 10 minutes out. Get quiet, get focused, get clear, get grounded. And then write. Number 2, write down your personal goals, desires, and visions. Then ask yourself, what one thing could I do daily to work on these? Now, these goals, what you can do daily, must be small, actionable, measurable steps that you know that you can do realistically every day. Give it a completion date and actively work towards it. These will feel like a step in the right direction, but it might also feel a little bit uncomfortable. If you are going after what you haven't usually gone for, there might be resistance there, and that's okay. What you need to say next is, if I had no fear, how would I move forward with this step? That's only if you feel like there's some resistance there. Otherwise, you've got this. Lastly, number 3, think about all you are currently grateful for in your life. Sit with it for a few minutes. Feel the joy, be it laughter, be it peace, be it clarity. And then I want you to visualize yourself feeling the same amount of gratitude for your purpose, for your soul calling and goals, as though you are your future self who has achieved all your desires, all of these goals, with this sense of elevation and high vibrational feeling of renewal, joy, peace, clarity, and fulfillment. Do this daily for at least 14 days. The best times to do this are just before you go to sleep and just when you are waking up. And do this for at least 3 to 5 minutes. And I promise you, you will feel, sense, and see a shift in your everyday. The channel for Bashar, the spiritual teacher, shares the message about following one's excitement and how that in itself really, when you think about it, is a gift. But as you all probably know by now, in order for this to be a gift, you must share it. So one must follow the excitement and turn them into action steps. In turn, God, creator of all that is, as well as your higher self and the universe, will take care of the rest. It is not necessary for you to know how, nor is it necessary for you to really know when. And to really illustrate this, I want to encourage you all to just follow your passion and see what happens. Just say to yourself, why not? You know, why not take that step? Why not do this? Why not make that change? Rather than get caught up in this negative cycles or the self-doubt, just say to yourself, why not? You know, and go for it. So I want to share some quotes with you all to help you create a life you love, to follow your creative passions, and to live in joy. There's a quote from Buddha that says, "Your work is to discover your world, and then with all your heart, give yourself to it." Again, you know, this speaks to the 3 tools that I gave you earlier, and also how it might not feel profound or it might seem small, But small things create bigger things. And no matter how small it is profound. It might not always feel that way, but trust and believe there are no small achievements. They are all big. So congratulate yourself, celebrate yourself every step of the way. When you are listening to your soul's call, when you are listening to your inner voice, when you are trusting yourself, betting on yourself, and moving forward and stepping into your power. I also have this quote from Oprah Winfrey. There is no greater gift you can give or receive than to honor your calling. It's why you were born and how you become most truly alive. I couldn't agree more. And with every year that goes past, I recognize how significant my gifts, my personal gifts are. And I want you to be able to do the same throughout your life. Recognize what gifts you came here to bring, how significant they are, and how you can share them in order to be your most luminous self and feel liberated. The last quote is from Howard Thurman. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive and go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. Again, it's kind of one and the same with Oprah, but I feel like it's so necessary to have these affirmations and these quotes that are similar because it shows you the power of them. It lets you know just how important it is for us to remember what matters. What is the theme here? And it is your excitement. It is your aliveness. It is what elevates you. And we have the part in the show where I give you some affirmations to repeat throughout the week to integrate what you've listened to today and help you become more of who you came here to be. Take this time out and repeat these words, knowing that investing in yourself is worth it. You are worthy of living a life beyond your wildest dreams easily. And it could start here right now with these affirmations. I am divinely guided on my journey, and every experience is shaping my highest purpose. I am divinely guided on my spiritual journey, and every experience is shaping my highest purpose. I embrace my transitions into transformation with grace, knowing that shedding makes space for my greatest expansion. I am worthy of abundance and release all outdated beliefs and patterns that no longer serve me, so I may step into my true power. And lastly, I trust God, the creator of all that is, who has made a clear pathway for my success in my true calling. Take nice 3 deep breaths in and out. And just like that, we have come to the end of the show and the part where I share this week's prompt. But before I do, I just want to ask you for a moment of your time to give the show a 5-star rating if you have enjoyed the content, and enjoy the show so others may easily find it as well. With much love and gratitude. Thank you. Back to this week's prompt. This week's prompt is, if I had all the money, the resources, and no fear, what would my career be? And what would I choose to do with my time? These prompts take you a little deeper into self-reflection, discovery, and soul integration to get those channels of creativity and divine insights opening more and more week after week. to help integrate the lessons along with the messages our soul has for us. Take 20 minutes and 20 minutes only to write all that comes up without distractions. It doesn't matter what it sounds like or what it looks like. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just write and allow it to come out. Write everything that you feel and be present. You don't need to share it, but if you feel moved to, I'd love to hear it. So feel free to send your responses in. Or if you've got questions, share them in the comment section on my social media pages or in the review sections, along with your replies to my additional questions on Spotify to be answered on the next show. But for now, if you're tired of a glow that fades, of feeling stuck or disconnected, and you're ready to take the next steps into your soul's evolution, book a soul integration session with me now, where I'll help you recognize invisible wounds you've been carrying for too long and uncover repressed memories to release the trapped emotions that continue to create blocks in your life and heal them. Activating and illuminating your soul's essence, breaking you free from what's been holding you back, and expediting transformation and your magnetic potential. So, if that sounds like something you're interested in, let's start your journey of renewal today and help you get a glow that doesn't fade. For any of my other counseling, coaching services or holistic therapies, head over to anastasiaspeaks.com for more. You can join my Sacred Spaces community and be held, encouraged and supported like you deserve by kind and kindred spirits who will encourage you to be authentically you over on my website under the Sacred Spaces page. You can also find my debut poetry book, The Empath and a Twin Flame, Through You I Discovered Me, on my website or in Apple iBooks, Amazon Kindle, and in hardcover and paperback, along with the Twin Flame Journal to accompany you in navigating your own Twin Flame journey. For all my Twin Flames out there, you can connect with me over on Facebook, X, Threads, Instagram, YouTube, and Clubhouse, searching Anastasia Speaks, or go to anastasiaspeaks.com for more. Remember, seeking more means you can no longer stay small. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe. The key is always radical self-acceptance. But just know, delay is not denial. Missteps happen so we get the chance to realign, and you are not alone. Soul integration is your birthright. Love louder to release all fear. And see you in the next episode.